Hello, everyone! Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief Recap. Sorry, got a little excited there. I hope you guys are enjoying this crazy market up and down like orange drawers. COVID craziness. I suppose you're not supposed to say that word. The sickness, craziness. Oh, goodness. Actually, God, man, you got to feel badly for those dissidents in, I think it was in Belarus. Man, that's terrible. Anyway, the world is definitely a challenging place these days, that's for sure. Do you know we had a big celestial event overnight, and also one of our site members who really likes to follow the astrology with me really helped me a lot understanding EVUs and Mercury retrogrades and planetary cycles. Andre, hugs and kisses. Actually, the guy's actually going to go and become a hedge fund manager now, so I'm going to lose him. Boo, hiss, hiss, boo. But, man, I see big things for that guy down the road. Anyway, full moons. I think it's a funny name. Yellow-tailed moon or something like that. EVUs. Mercury retrograde's about to start. So it feels as though there is some sort of pivot coming in here. I don't know whether it's today or tomorrow. It's interesting how our breadth, you could see the breadth indicator started to turn back up. And we kind of noticed, I think Kevin was even mentioning that his Russell 2000 was looking perkier, if that is a word. Although, I make a promise that the broiler chicken show is supposed to be used sort of to dovetail the level 1 program teachings. And I had a bunch of questions left over from that Sunday session that I just couldn't get around to. And then we had Kiran and Daniela yesterday. And then I unfortunately, for people that are fans of Kevin on the site, we had to unfortunately put his offering on hold today so that I could make sure I get to these questions. Actually, we had really cool conversations about all these different points. So if you were watching intently, if you are a level 1 student, for example, and you were like, God, that Brian guy, he said he was going to do it and he never did it. That really bugged me. I hate when people do that. So I took today's daily brief and answered these questions. So if you are a level 1 student, just make sure you got that. And of course, if you were interested and you were watching the broiler chickens and you were like, I really wanted to see what the answers were to these follow-up questions. And really, actually, it's interesting. We even had almost like a mini course on how to use chaos theory here through the daily brief today, including old videos and PDFs and stuff that we have to describe it. We talked a lot about that. So you could always pop on the site, do the 30-day free trial thing, and watch the dovetail to this. Or I don't know, maybe do something crazy and throw a couple $100 our way and become a site member. I know that's outlandish, but what the hell? Maybe even consider that. As for the broader market, like I said, feels as though we just went through a bit of a pivot. We are seeing that the US dollar index itself is a little bit firmer here. I don't know whether this recent slide is done. Of course, I've told you, I am a US dollar bull by nature. Haven't really broken down here yet, so we'll see how this goes, but I'll tell you, it's certainly not uppy right now. Stocks, man. Kevin was saying earlier that he did see that the Russell 2000 was perky, and I noticed a bunch of our little stocks were perking up. I think I showed you a couple of them yesterday. It was just going nuts. So didn't bang any doubles out today, but geez, a lot of stocks that I did buy recently jumping up nicely here. So trades are working nicely in our favor. Big indexes, yeah, we run a day trading room. So all of us old veterans are in there first thing in the morning, just carving out our day trading models. I had this top working from yesterday, and it's interesting to see how all they did was they brought it back to scratch in the overnight session and then just continued this malaise here. Interesting how this huge pattern now could potentially set up a bullish ABCD to take us much higher. And that would be sort of coming out of that EVU event. Crypto is going to get a lot happier. I see the oil market is firming up. It sure feels like risk is getting ready for another leg higher here. Let's see. Where do I have that? That's this kind of conversation. Yeah, look at the corn. You can see the corn is just coiling here. And I'm hearing a lot of people on TRI are talking about, yeah, I'm stepping in. And I've shown you recently, I've been buying a bunch of this stuff. So I got a funny feeling risk is just about to get back on, folks. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Obviously, no guarantees from the management. There's that oil market still up against top end of the range. We did hear a lot of Fed governors and stuff talking recently saying they're fine with the pace of purchases. They're fine with the rate of inflation. Interest rates are not going to go up here in the short term. But, should prices continue to rise, they will revisit it. Typical bureaucratic talk. I get the impression right now all they want is they just want the market to continue to reflate while they have the opportunity through this COVID experience. And then once that's done, then you probably have sort of more conservative leaning people in U.S. society go, look, enough of the free checks. We got to start, reining things in. But that's not today, my folks, my friends. So oil, it's not pointing down. I would say maybe sideways, up against resistance levels. But the Feds basically said, we're not going to stop this train. So I don't know whether I can justify shorting that. It's awfully difficult to me to justify buying that. But I don't really have enough anecdotal evidence right now to actually say that thing's a bear market. That still looks like it's pointing... It looks like it's pointing up, but it needs some time to consolidate. Which I guess you could argue is the same thing about the whole damn risk market. Everything, it looks up, but it needs time to consolidate, right? Sure looks up, but I would say we need some time to consolidate. Same thing with Bitcoin, Huge moves up, just insane moves up. But now we're just, we're consolidating those gains. I've told you recently, man, I'm just not impressed with the bonds here. So, I think the impetus move, we drew this about 3 or 4 months ago. I think that general message was correct, but, geez, the price action is just dead. And gold, you got to be worried about gold because now it has had quite a nice rally. If oil starts to get going and corn and stocks, is this thing ready to dump here? And it was interesting, Kevin did a really interesting market symmetry study, and we were sort of thinking that maybe we come back up against these highs. But then that means, like if this was market symmetry, up, down, right, back to that level there, well, then that means that this is probably like up, down, back to that level there, right? Somewhat. So I don't know where the top in gold is here, but once we do get through that, I am looking for this pullback window. If it M's out like this and starts cranking down hard, then all hell could break loose. That would just basically be predicated on the idea that the economy itself is actually growing and productivity is growing, and workers are back to work, but inflation pressures are abating. I don't know. Like I said, that's probably that message is probably still another month or so away. But man, that was a pretty good call of Kevin's for that market symmetry move. Once we get up into this area, though, I would imagine things are going to get a little bit tough in here for the gold bugs. While this is happening, man, make hay while the sun's shining. Little gold stocks, silver stocks, not so much copper, but like base metals. Man, doing really, really well. So a couple of our little ones are just gone absolutely nuts here. So hopefully we'll be banging out doubles here soon. Encouraging sign, you can actually see the junior market relative to the senior market is trying to rally here. Would like to see a W on the other side of this trend line, so I don't know whether I believe that as a breakout, but hey, at least it's constructive, so that's good. We'll see how that goes. And I think that's sort of the same, on crypto. Smalls. This is looking very fractally, so, nice counter trend rally, as you can see. Up against these highs, and then maybe a melting back down. I like that thinking. Wouldn't be surprising. Also, too, corn. And I think our recent message, especially if you use things like RSI modeling, first W off the bottom says bears, cool your jets. It's not necessarily really a buy signal, but just, probably down is done for now. Well, I think that's what's happening here. And as you can see, our sort of funny forecast, this is what I would expect to happen going forward here. So, here's 38.2 of the entire range. Expect 38.2s to be tested, so we'll probably work our way up into our little resistance box here. Then roll back down, and then if we can put in a W then and generate that second W through the 50 line, so that would only be through the 40 line. It would have to be all the way up there, which, I don't know, maybe that'll happen. Doubt it. But if we get that next W that'll come in, that will be your buy signal. If it's through the 50 line, then it means it's going to be a big buy signal. My hunch is this will just be a little buy signal. So I suppose, just really simply put, we should, just on balance, think 50% roll. So there is the recent high up there. There's the reload short zone. If I wanted to short, I would be hunting against these highs up here. But, dead cat bounce, 50% roll, WD GAN. We should expect a rally back into 47.50 area. There, and that would be a kiss of the underside of this original structural fail level. Seems perfectly logical to me. So a nice little sort of work our way higher up into this level. Once that's done, though, then we're going to have to sort of figure out, okay, where the hell do we go next? And, we are still technically in May. Usually this has one more sort of halfway through June. And then once we get into the end of June, beginning of July, as you can sort of see over here, this is actually where I think the buy signal, if there is one, comes in way over here. So we still got another month of which is fine. Take advantage of that as assets are backing up after insane face rip moves up, well, take advantage of those backups to reload. So that's what I've been doing here. And same thing on this funny little LTO, right? I just market had massive runs. They've backed it up. Brian is reloading. And hell, I even showed you, and sons of bitches won't give me a fill. It's typical tracks. Drives you crazy. Even this guy here, I liked just this range alone. And I was like, well, you're going to back it up against these lows. I want to reload. Although I didn't get my fill. That low there, 1730, my bid's at literally 1725, and I think that actually, if I'm not mistaken, is a mountain man off of this entire range. Yeah, right there. Oh, look at that. And even that there off a goddamn stamp, that says 1735. So if I had my order at 35, I would have been filled. Anyway, the bottom line here is hopefully what you're hearing is Brian's buying? Brian's buying. Brian's not shitting his pants about how fucking risky this market is. Markets come slamming down back into key support, and Brian's trying to buy. That's, I think, the message that I really want you to hear today. I have fun in various different altcoins. In fact, actually, I went and bought some of this band, same sort of thing, same logic. This one was kind of cool. Because the algo told us to get all bullish here, our site screener. And I hate chasing, so of course Brian sees this W and he says, okay, well, I'll be more than happy to buy down against these reload zones. And sure enough, I had to wait. In fact, I missed this. I had to wait, boom, finally got filled. So Merry Christmas. Very typical, right? That's exactly what I do. Shitcoin 5000s. Actually, Shitcoin 5000s are looking cute. Just slowly accumulating. Not really in any hurry. This happens to be a fun little challenge that we have on the site, but no guarantees from the management. I have no idea what's going to happen here. Just, I try to drive home, and I sometimes, because I do drive this message home, a lot of people kind of discount my message. But I'm telling you, I've been at this game for 30 fucking years. The only way I could be at this for 30 years is I try to have fun doing this. As soon as you turn this into too serious, boring, don't have fun at this, you're going to lose interest in something else is going to grab your attention, and that'll be it. Maybe I'll hear from you 5-10 years from now, kind of thing. Try to have fun with this. And so that's why I created the Shitcoin 5000 list. These are just names that have been absolutely decimated. Where we could, like how many names is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you could go and split your portfolio equally. And if this thing 10x's between now and I think the end of the year is probably the end of this rally. So it's 366 now. If we go to 3,600, that's right in there. By the end of the year, on just this one name, I get all of my invested capital back and everything else, whatever happens to any of them, totally free charge. Is it realistic that between now and the end of the year, we tag this line? Hell, I could sit here for the next 2 or 3 years. Is it realistic that sometime over the next couple of years, this line is tagged? I think so. So what happens if, I don't know, 3 or 4 of these, not even 50%, 3 or 4 of these do this 10x move? And oh, by the way, I actually expect these names to be trading at new highs. Call me crazy, but that's what I expect. But what happens if just a few of these names do this 10x move to here? Then I'm up a lot of money having fun at this game. So try and remember that. All right, so I think that's about all I want to offer you guys here today. Nothing ground shattering, but very constructive. And of course, we got the school running full blast right now, so everybody's rocking and rolling. And as I said, I actually took today's daily brief to finish off those questions because that's how important that stuff is to me. So, okay, everybody, I think I'm going to leave it at that. Have yourselves a great rest of your day. PMA for the win. All the best. And the only thing left for Brian to say here is bye for now.